It was another blazing afternoon in Forest Hill, Port Elizabeth, where corruption ran deep, especially in the local KFC-themed police station. The town had been under the grip of Commander Dik Koos van der Merwe for far too long. His sneering face was plastered on the walls of fear, ruling with an iron fist wrapped in the grease of backdoor deals and a belly full of fried chicken. His KFC cops enforced his will, filling their pockets while the town suffered. But the people of Forest Hill had had enough. Whispers in the dusty streets spoke of change, and that change came in the form of Zenobia de Fobia, attorney at law, but more than that, a hero of the people. Zenobia had taken down more corrupt officials than the KFC cops had stolen fried chicken. But this time, she wouldn't be alone. Her partner in this fight was none other than Marshall Super MikeP, a towering figure known for his swift justice and superhuman strength. While Zenobia wielded the law, MikeP wielded the power to take down anyone who thought they were above it. Together, they were unstoppable. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows over the streets of Forest Hill. The KFC police station loomed ahead, its tacky red and white paint chipping away from years of neglect, just like the integrity of its commander. Zenobia and MikeP walked side by side, their footsteps echoing in the eerie stillness. Zenobia adjusted the collar of her law jacket, her eyes locked on the station's front door. "This ends today," she said, her voice steady with purpose. In her hand, she held a thick stack of legal documents, the evidence she needed to bring Commander van der Merwe down. MikeP, dressed in his signature tactical suit, smirked, his hand resting on the baton strap to his waist. "He won't go down without a fight, but that's why I'm here." As they approached, the doors to the station burst open, and there he stood, Dik Koos van der Merwe, the corrupt commander himself. He was a hulking figure, with a greasy uniform stretched over his belly and a face twisted in a permanent scowl. Behind him, his loyal band of KFC cops shuffled nervously, buckets of chicken still in hand. Van der Merwe sneered, stepping forward. "Zenobia de Fobia, the town's bleeding heart attorney. And the infamous Super MikeP. What a pair. You think you can come into my station, my town, and take me down?" Zenobia held up the legal documents, her voice unwavering. "I've got enough evidence here to not only take you down but to make sure you rot in a cell for the rest of your life. You've stolen from this town, abused your power, and terrorized innocent people for far too long." Van der Merwe laughed, but there was a glint of fear in his eyes. "You think some papers are going to stop me? I run this town. These people will never rise up against me. Not with my cops backing me." Zenobia glanced at the officers behind him, most of whom were sweating more from fear than from the heat. They knew what was coming. "They won't back you, not after what we've uncovered." And just like that, Marshall Super MikeP stepped forward, cracking his knuckles. "You've been eating your way to corruption for years, Dick. Time for you to feel what real power looks like." In the blink of an eye, MikeP launched himself at the commander. The fight was swift and brutal. Van der Merwe, despite his bravado, was no match for the strength and speed of MikeP. With one swift move, MikeP disarmed the corrupt cop and pinned him to the ground, his foot on Van der Merwe's back. The townspeople had gathered, watching from the shadows, slowly emerging as the symbol of their oppression lay defeated in the dust. Zenobia stepped forward, the legal documents in hand, and placed them in front of Van der Merwe's face. "You're finished," she said simply. "This town belongs to its people now." As Van der Merwe was hauled away, handcuffed and powerless, Zenobia and MikeP stood tall, the sunset casting a golden glow over them. The KFC cops, seeing their commander fall, dropped their buckets and quietly dispersed, knowing their reign of terror was over. Zenobia looked at MikeP and smiled. "Justice, served extra crispy." MikeP chuckled, dusting off his suit. "Another victory for the people, Zenobia. Another step towards a better world." And with that, the heroes of Forest Hill walked away, leaving behind a town finally free from the grip of corruption, ready to rebuild and rise stronger than ever.